On Samal's mountain, where the view's so grand, volcano up rises, the ocean meets the sand. I called my friends to share this night, with barbecue flames and stories alight. Tarzan's here, Valentina too. The kids are playing, the fire's in view, but the star of the evening with wisdom to say is Martti Valila, who gave it all away. Once a millionaire,
I know this video very long, but have reason. Because our guest who come, it's Martti Valila. He's 75 years, he make 9 books and 2 books about Philippines. And you know, he left Philippines 54 years ago. He been English teacher and he travel around dangerous area in Philippines. And this day he tell about this story. It's crazy story. It's amazing. And if I cut some video, I cut story. I don't want this. And I think you don't want also. What you do before in Philippines? I remember a long time ago you've been teacher for Filipino people.
Right.
Can you do details, please? Or we understand?
Yes. That's how I discovered the Philippines. I discovered it, my first job after graduating from Stanford University in California was as a volunteer teacher. And I was sent to Mindanao State University in Marawi City, MSU.
It was 40 years ago?
Well, it was longer. It was in 1972, 71.
Wow. Oh, how was Philippines before so much years?
Oh, it was, well, you know, I didn't see all the Philippines then. I saw just,
Mindanao.
I saw Marawi City, and Mindanao, and the Sulu Islands. You know,
Wow, it's
Sulu. I went in Sulu.
It's almost
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
right?
Right now it's terroristic area, right?
You know, the summer of my teaching, I took a smuggling boat trip. No, this is a true story.
No, because I said terroristic.
No, but I went
Smuggling?
because I was MSU. No, this is I think very interesting story from the Philippines.
Yes, please.
Because MSU, when I was there, it was 10 years old. It was only 10 years old, so it was a very fresh campus. Not many buildings, a few buildings, some dormitories, and a few buildings for for classes. But the idea of MSU was to bring Christian students up into the hills of Mindanao to integrate the Muslims and the Christians.
Yes.
Okay, because the Christians were afraid to go up into the hills of Mindanao because they thought, oh my God, if we go there, we'll be killed. And the Muslim students were afraid to go to Iligan. They were afraid to go to the coast. So because they thought, oh, if we go to Iligan, we'll be killed. So, but in order to entice Christian students to go to MSU, they had feeder schools. They had feeder high schools all around Mindanao. And the top students received scholarships. So they were given free education if they went up to MSU. So if they were brave enough to go up to MSU, they would receive free education.
Yes.
So there was a feeder school in the Sulu, Bungao, in the island of
But
Bungao.
who paid this money for them?
It was the government, I think, the Philippine
Government or USA help?
No, USA, it wasn't. The program I was involved in, we were paid a normal salary, a teacher's salary in the Philippines. We weren't paid by the U.S. Peace Corps volunteers, there was a big Peace Corps, many hundreds of Peace Corps volunteers.
Why you want to go here? I think you'll get much less money than...
No, I wasn't interested in money. I was interested in seeing Asia without a gun in my hand. I didn't want to come to Asia as part of the U.S. military. I wanted to come to Asia as a teacher. I was here to learn. I wasn't here to teach. I was here to learn. And it was the most fantastic possible first job out of... oh, wow, look at that. Out of university. Okay. Oh, I know. I saw you have papaya trees all over. So this was because, in the Philippines, a teacher has very high status.
Yes.
They're considered very important people. And here I just graduated. I was just like 21 years old.
21?
Maybe 21, Okay, I was born in 49, and I was here, in 72, 71, 72. So I was 22, 23. I was a kid, But suddenly I was a teacher.
Teacher for students?
Students who were not so much younger than me.
Same age like you, right?
Yeah, many of my students were not that much younger than me, okay? But as I say, I wasn't here to teach, I was here to learn, but okay. And it was a wonderful experience. Because of these high schools, they had high schools all over Mindanao, feeder schools, where the best students receive scholarships to go to MSU. So I made friends with the man, Abdullah Madali was his name, and he was head of the program with these schools. So we would go and visit these schools. I taught classes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I had Fridays and Mondays off. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I was free to travel. So I would travel all over Mindanao, including the Sulus, and visit these high schools.
How about Sulu? It's been dangerous area.
Yeah, no, back then it wasn't dangerous for me because I was a professor at MSU, so I felt I was a member of the local community.
You did your journey alone or with
Yeah, I went.
Filipino?
No, I was well. Whenever I went, I had people to visit. They say, "Oh, you're going to Bungao, you visit the school." You know, I had people. I wasn't traveling with anybody. Many times I traveled alone, but I had somebody waiting for me when I was going. You know, and the Filipinos are very hospitable people, so they say, "Oh, you're going there? Okay, I have a cousin." Or I blah, blah. So you go there and you arrive and you're like welcomed like a member of the family. But I also had status because I was a teacher at MSU. So this is how I discovered the Sulus. I took the boats from Zamboanga. You know, they're these little island hopping boats. And there were guys there with rifles, and they had, you know.
The 30 years ago, people, 40 people know English like now, or?
Yeah. And there were always, as I say, English was the medium of instruction. English, I was teaching in English. I wasn't teaching English. My fellow teachers were here to teach English, but I was a member of the social sciences department. So I was teaching in English, but I wasn't teaching the English language. I was teaching crazy subjects like the history of China. They gave me. And they gave me, because they thought I was they gave me courses because I was the foreigner. So they thought, okay,
You can do what
I
you
can
want.
do whatever I want. So, no, really, I mean, it was a crazy time. You know, I was not qualified.
You was happy this time?
Yeah, I was happy. You know, I was relaxed. You know, I realized I was not a great Chinese scholar, you know, and I also taught geography of the world, geography. I like to say I taught geography of the world to students who were living on an island, many of whom had never seen the sea, who were afraid to go to the sea.
Вентилятор. У меня в лицо прям дым есть.
Чем он тебе поможет?
Лево должен отмывать. А кто выключил?
Вообще непонятно.
I mean, when I think about it, I was living like in a movie. It was like being in a movie. You know, like in a movie. Because here I arrived.
В ту сторону, чтобы дым в стену не уходил. Ты рукой, что ты слегка? Вот просто направь.
Вес там.
Вот сюда вот направь.
Нормально?
На видео будет то, что правильно.
Ага. Поставь самую слабую.
Мне кажется, он вообще...
Там три переключателя.
Огромный вентилятор.
Да, еще.
Какой
Вот предыдущий. А, чего вы так сели-то? Зачем так странно?
Так, садись сюда.
I see this place, all smoke for my face, I don't know. Куда ты направил? Оно как стену будет. Вот,
Блин, ты ж
поискоси. Какой? Чтоб вот оно уходило.
Вот уходит. Сейчас посмотрим.
Нет, просто оттуда сейчас ветер в ту сторону дует.
Ну, видно, даже поэтому все сдувает туда.
Да, ветер дует оттуда.
И что с того?
Поэтому будет дым туда.
Ну, так все нормально.
Вот и просто. Знаешь, конечно, поставить не можешь.
Ты сейчас все испортишь, сейчас поставим идеально. Тирку.
Все.
So I tell my Sulu Island story. Okay. Because I think this is very interesting for a Philippine audience. Because, I was introduced to the Sulu Islands. My first trip there was because one of these feeder schools was in Bungao, which is halfway to Tawi-Tawi. Okay. So,
Never mind, when it's simple just.
it's okay.
Speak in English.
Да нет, ладно, не перебивай, молчи. Мы лучше покажем, там не перебивай. Все, we're not talk.
You're not talking? Okay.
But he was
Fast food team.
Okay, the chicken is cooking and so I have still some beer here, no problem. So anyway, in other words, I discovered the Sulus because I visited this high school in Bungao, okay? And I took this,
Bulgar, what is it?
Bungao is a village in the middle of the Sulu Island. It's near Tawi-Tawi. It's near Jolo. It's near Jolo. I think it's the next town. It's the next island past Jolo. And Jolo is the most important island in the Sulus. Jolo is where there was a sultan of Jolo located, and Jolo used to be the Muslim center for all those islands. It was headquartered in Jolo. So Jolo is the most important town in the Sulus. Bungao was next island, but that's where the high school was, the theater school. So in the summer, for my summer vacation, I looked at the map of the Philippines, and I looked at Malaysia, and I looked at Palawan, and I thought, okay, I'll go to Bungao, and from Bungao, I'm going to try to hitch a ride to go from Bungao to Sandakan in Malaysia.
Oh, I've been there.
You've been there?
Yes,
You've been to
yes,
Sandakan?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, because that's the old trading route. Because there are a lot of people in Sulus, they trade with Malaysia. They don't trade with Manila.
It's
that's like the back door.
closer.
It's much closer, and it has the traditions, the old traditions. So, it's like the back door. It's considered the back door of the Philippines.
And they know English too.
Yeah, they know a little English. Yeah. So I go to Bungao and I'm in the marketplace and I say, I'm a teacher from MSU. I'm looking for a way to go to Sandakan. So I'm first day, no, I don't see anybody. But second day, some guy says, go talk to this, talk to this guy over here. So I talk to this guy and he says, well, as a matter of fact, my son is going to Sandakan tonight as part of, he says, by the way, do you want to marry my daughter? To marry my daughter, you have to give me like 30 goats. I said, I don't have.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
In Philippines?
Yeah.
Oh.
Down in the Sulu Islands. He said,
How old you been this time? 25?
I was 22, 23.
22,
I was a
wow.
young guy, handsome young guy.
It's been 50 years ago.
Yeah, 50
oh my
years,
God.
more than 50 years ago.
More, yeah.
More than 50 years
23
ago.
years ago.
Yeah, more than 50,
23.
more than 50. It's like 52 years ago.
52.
Yeah. So anyway, I think he was just joking, but he said, okay, I asked him, how much would it cost for me to go to take your boat, to go from Bungao to Sandakan? So I forget what he gave me as a price, but okay. So we agreed, and that evening I got onto his boat, and he
Yes,
wasn't.
not that.
No, his daughter stayed in, and his son was the captain of the boat. His son, and I learned later that this was the first trip his son was taking.
Really?
Yeah, this was his first trip for his son.
Wow.
He was usually the guy who went, but this time it was his son going. Okay, and we were in a group of like 4 or 5 boats. We all left Bungao together. Okay, we left, and it was in the evening. So like we saw the sunset here, so we were on our way out of the harbor in Bungao. Okay. And there were a few raindrops, just a few raindrops were starting, okay? And I was like, maybe there were 15 people on the boat, 14 other people and me.
In
And
one boat.
in the one boat, right. And it had a little engine in the middle. But the main passengers of our boat were fighting cocks. We had about 20 fighting cocks, because this was what the Filipinos were taking to Malaysia, to Sandakan. This was what they were ready to trade, because this was a trade delegation. They were going from the Philippines.
Видео снять видео, когда там сколько там.
So that was the main cargo that they were gonna use to pay for goods that they were buying in Sandakan to bring back. But what they were bringing from the Philippines to Sandakan were fighting cocks. So we had
Cocks?
fighting chickens,
Ah,
live
yeah, I
cocks.
understand. I understand.
So we had in the middle of the boat were all these chickens or cocks, because
And before it's also been tradition for play.
What if
play
it how much
for-
time?
yeah, fighting, of course.
Good.
So the Filipinos
10
has
minutes?
a very famous, they breed these fighting cocks. So
Yeah,
Andrey, when it be ready?
very valuable.
depends. Middle past this long time. I don't know, read also.
Maybe 5? 10?
Excuse, you hungry? Super hungry?
I'm getting a little hungry.
Okay.
So
And you?
No.
Not yet?
You?
Yes.
She hungry. She.
Okay. So
She need to eat because
So-
she had them there.
just part it's for you, right?
Strong woman. Just.
But right now you have good feel, right?
Yeah.
I should have dengue a few days ago.
Dengue fever?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She still have some disease. She became behave. I know it's not good. Little different.
Is that from a mosquito? Is that from
Yeah, we think.
Yes.
insect?
Yes.
Oh.
She behave a little different.
You mean
There is
character?
somehow that I think that she drunk or something.
Oh, really? You mean a little dizzy?
Little busy, right?
How is it? Is it like contagious?
No,
No,
it's
no.
only
Only the insect.
yes. And special mosquito.
Such, yeah.
Not
Not every mosquito.
don't afraid.
Okay, good. All right. Cool. But so anyway, our first problem on the boat were that we ran aground. All of a sudden, we hit coral on the way out of the harbor.
Oh, because captain don't know weight.
Right, because young captain, you know. So all of a sudden I go, maybe I'm in some, you know. I wasn't worried, but I thought, strange. So everybody gets out of the boat. They have to push the boat off the, off the coral. Meanwhile, the other boats keep going. So we're alone. Now we're alone.
They don't saw that you in problem.
No, I thought, okay, no problem. I thought this is unusual. Okay, that we suddenly stop. But I said, okay, go. So they push us off the coral, and we start going. Okay, and then it starts raining harder. More rain, and pretty soon we have a storm. The wind. And they bring the plastic down on the side of the boats, and the chickens are making all this noise. And I go in,
Fighters, why they afraid?
they're afraid, there's water coming in and wind and everything, and
You're afraid?
yeah, I'm getting a little, I'm thinking, what the hell? I'm on this boat, we're alone, and so.
But it's closed. Land was closed.
No, land was, we couldn't see any land.
You found.
No, we already left the land. We kept going. We kept going. So I find the cabin, the captain is in a small cabin. We're in the back.
And try. And captain try.
Well, the captain is, going like this, and he has a compass there, and he's steering the boat, and the boat is going, and we have the wind going there. And I had a book, I had an anthropology book. And on the inside of my book, there was a map of the Zulu.
Где ты будешь переворачивать? В следующий раз крупненького.
Ah.
Inside, because this book was about the Philippine Islands, was about the Sulu Islands. Okay? So I was carrying this book with me. It was like an anthropological book about, and on the inside was a map of the Sulu Islands. So I showed the captain that I had this. I said, "Oh, he has a map."
Really?
He has a map. Here, he has a map. Sir, my American has a map. Here. So here we have this compass on the middle of the boat. We're in the dark. There's a storm.
Yeah.
And we're alone. And here he's guiding the boat using this map that's in the back.
So Joe. Yes.
So, in the middle of
But
the
how he go like a captain alone without his father? I don't
Well, but
understand.
he was going with there were 2 or 3 other boats. We were going to go together, all together. But as I say, we hit the ground, we were delayed. All the other boats went ahead.
No, I just don't understand why his father give him to go alone.
For you it's surprise, I think it's normal. It's okay. Nothing happened.
It's, but it's a true story, So all of a sudden I'm thinking, if we disappear, I vanish from the earth. Nobody knows. Poof. We fall in the water, sharks eat us, and it's like, oh, Valila, he went somewhere, he was in the Sulu Islands, and it's gone,
So maybe they think to before like if God won't you be alive, no need to be alive.
No, we were that,
I will go to see if it's
okay. If I live, if I die, it's like this chance, because We didn't have any, you know. And so next morning, the sun rises, and we hit the ground again. It's okay. We hit the ground on the other side. So we were in Malaysia, and we turned. We didn't know where we were, but we started going to the right. And okay. That's only the start of the story, though. But we started going to the right. And okay. That's only the start of the story, though. There's more. No, yeah, as I say, I didn't have any fear then. I was young. I thought, okay, I'm invincible. I'm in good health. Nothing can happen to me. I felt like that. Yeah, I was totally crazy. Now when I think about it, and I was writing my mother letters. I would say to my mother, I was sending my letter. I said to her before I left, Zamboanga, I said, okay, this is maybe the last letter you're going to be getting from me for a while because I'm going to the Zulus, and then I'm going to, and there's shark-infested waters, and there's pirates. And she received these letters.
Regular letter, yeah?
Yeah.
No email.
No email. No, this took letter. It took like 3 weeks to a month to go, from Philippines to America. So my mother gets this letter. She says, "Oh," I said, "Don't worry. I'm going. You probably won't be hearing from me for a while because, I'm leaving the Philippines to go to, Okay, so yeah, okay. So she's sitting in Washington D.C. She gets this letter. Oh, okay. And then she doesn't hear from me for a long time. And then I get to Sandakan. And there I visited the Turtle Islands. Turtle Islands.
I
Right.
hear about this.
Okay, they're between. Some of them belong to the Philippines, and some belong to Malaysia. Okay. And so. So I said to these Filipinos, I said,
I think it's already done. Just little.
cool. So most of these Filipinos, they were there for business.
That's what I want. He said bellissimo is what I want. And how he understands it's not Russian about bellissimo, they want to
It's like Italian. Right?
It's which some Minecraft on one phone. I don't know why.
Do you have chai? Some tea?
A little bit of tea.
I not play that one.
Okay.
And how long you not been in Philippines before you come back again? 2017, right?
Yeah, many years. I wasn't here for like. I went back in 2000. In 1972, 73, and then I wasn't back. Until 2017. So
Wow, more 40 years.
yeah, more than 50 years. Actually.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, I had no reason to come back. My reason to come back was to retire here or to live, with my pension because I couldn't live with my pension in America. But I could live with a pension here.
Because also you not have enough.
So your reason come back before being because America you have pension, right? And if you leave America, it's poor life. For
Yeah. I couldn't. I was because I'm waiting to be a millionaire with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's will make me very rich, but
Can you tell me about this short story, please, about Alzheimer's project?
oh, that's not a short story. That's a very long story. But
Okay, but
it's a special story. But that's the most important story that I have to tell to the world.
Yeah.
The whole world is looking for something that works.
and this video with all details about Alzheimer, about all for full interview. And for
We'll do later.
tomorrow.
You mean
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay.
And I put for people see link or video
Okay.
next.
So, but let me finish. Let me finish the story about the Sulu Island, okay? Because okay, so most of my compatriots there, they were just going to the shore during the day, and they would come sleep on the boat at night, and then they would go trade during the day and then come back at night.
What you did?
I said, look, I want to go one way. In other words, I'm not here to go back to the Philippines. I'm here to go here to Sandakan, and from Sandakan to go to Palawan, to go across from Sandakan to go to Kota Kinabalu, which is on the other side of Malaysia.
There also.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Okay. So,
What do you do?
I travel in Borneo.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you'll appreciate the story. Okay. So I said to my Philippine friends, I said, okay, I want to go to Sandakan and leave me there, and I'll try to find my way to go from Sandakan to Kota Kinabalu. Okay. So, and in the meantime, I met these British guys. They had a little British club, because Sandakan was basically a British, the British are in Malaysia. They have a, so I went over to, I found my way to this British group, okay, and I started drinking with them, and I said, I'm looking for a way to go to, I'm trying to get to Palawan. And they said, well, we're going to the Turtle Islands. Tomorrow night we have a special trip to the Turtle Islands. You want to go with us? I said, okay, great. I can go to the Turtle Islands. And and by the way, there were some Turtle Islands belong to the Philippines, and other Turtle Islands belong to Malaysia. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll go from the Philippine or from the Malaysian Turtle Islands. I can go.
There was no problem with documents.
I didn't have it.
Yes, I know.
Right, no, it's a good question. No, the only document I had is I had my American passport, and I had my teacher certificate from MSU. So
I
had the
think
teacher-
50 years ago it was much easier than.
Oh, they didn't. Nobody can. These guys. They didn't ask me any documents. These Philippine guys who were going from, Bungao to Sandakan. They didn't ask me for any documents. They just said, okay, you pay, because they were basically going on a round trip. They were going to go to Sandakan and then come back. Okay. My idea was to go across Malaysia, across Borneo, and then to go to Palawan, to come back into the Philippines to Palawan. Okay. Just crazy. I mean, as I say, if someone were doing that now, they would be in danger because kidnapping. If you're like a white guy wandering around.
And documents, a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I think 50 years ago life was much easier and
Yeah, I was
Help.
totally.
healthier.
Yes, I was.
Healthier.
Well,
Healthier.
yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Healthy.
Sergey, well,
Healthier.
all I can tell you is I was totally ignorant of that. It was not something in my mind. I thought of myself like a local. I thought these Filipinos, they're going on, quote, a smuggling boat to go to Sandakan. I can go with them, no problem. Actually, maybe they checked my documents when I got to Sandakan. Maybe one of the police from Sandakan, maybe I showed them my passport, okay, when I was allowed to go onto Sandakan. I can't really remember, but maybe they checked. But okay, I was, anyway, allowed to go on Sandakan. And I spent a night. I met a British guy who said, okay, you can stay at my place. And we go to the island, we go to the Turtle Island tomorrow night.
Brilliant.
So then I asked these guys, would you drop me off with the Philippine pirates? They said, those islands over there, those are pirates, those are Philippine pirates. I said, oh, maybe the Philippine pirates
Really?
can take me to Palawan.
Really?
Yeah, they said, no, we can't go there. No,
You're not afraid?
I wasn't, I was, again, I was totally insane. I was, really, now when I think about it,
So
because I was totally fearless. I thought, here, I'm a teacher at MSU, I have local credentials, so, I could talk my way into, I would say, look, I'm trying to go to Palawan and go, I was,
good.
I was literally, and so I write another letter to my mother from Sandakan. I'm saying, I'm in Sandakan and I made it this far and, I mailed this to you from here. And so I found a logging boat, a logging truck that went from Sandakan to Kota Kinabalu. And then I spent a night in the middle of a logging camp. It was a Chinese logging camp in the middle of Borneo. And these Chinese were thinking, who is this guy? And again, they could have, at any point they could have just said, but I hitched a ride with this truck. I said, I'm trying to get, I said, okay, you go with me. And so I spent one night in the middle of Borneo. And the next morning we got on another truck and I arrived in Kota Kinabalu. And I stayed in a hotel, just sleeping in the corridor. I didn't have a room in the hotel. I just slept. They had like a couch outside, And I'm saying, is there a port? Where can I go to get a boat to Palawan? They said, oh, you need to go to Kudat. Go to Kudat. So Kudat is a little island.
That's what Kudata. Some way you go Kudata.
Yeah, you can well, Kudat. I don't know what it means. Kudat.
Kudata.
So I hitched a ride. I got a ride basically to go from Kota Kinabalu to Kudat. I don't know how long that is.
And later have again some situation?
Yeah, because
Андрей уже почти готов, может идти?
no, I mean,
Можно. We invite children for Hungary.
yeah, okay.
Куда мы писали?
Костя, принеси сок, он зеленый.
А, есть вот.
Ты вообще не будешь?
Посмотрим потом. Пока не
So there's no one here for whom English is their native language.
Only you.
It's not my native language.
Yeah, not one
I learned English from the books.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I read books very good. I read a lot of books. But I not stopped at all. I started to speak English here on Philippines.
Oh, really?
Yes. But I read a lot of books.
Oh, okay.
I learned English only from the books. Started from the tale story. Very easy.
Yes. Comic books or that's how I started. I learned it.
Yes, I tried to learn English along very different ways and I
Not through television.
because I'm so proud it's not working. I like to read.
Oh, okay.
I like to read, so I
Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Because for my sister and I, we watched television. The first year we were in
I
America,
tried.
we stayed all day watching TV because we had to go to school. We were going to school in English. So it was through television. And in books, I was reading comic books. You know, just very simple books.
Yes, it's how I am. Very simple.
How long ago? How old were you when you started?
Maybe 10 years ago.
7 or 10 years ago.
Yes.
Okay, and you're how old? You're
41.
okay. So you started relatively late in your life.
Yes.
Okay, that's not so easy.
After I learned Hebrew.
Afterwards, Hebrew.
Hebrew was
Hebrew, and then English.
First was Ukrainian. It's my country language, but I learned Hebrew.
It's like Uzbekistan blog, but with shame. Do you know blog?
Oh, it looks very good.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know me.
Okay.
Vegetarian blog.
Vegetarian. Okay, so this is Thanksgiving meal. I gotta take a picture of this.
Smell very good.
Okay, so the Thanksgiving meal will be plov, Russian plov here.
Vegetarian blog.
This is the vegetarian
I
option.
think it's a mix, not just Russian, it's Indian, because we have here
Oh, Indian, also, okay. But here we have the beautiful sack leaf chicken. And we have the post, beautiful post. Prepared by our lovely cook here.
I like it.
It's good?
Kostya already did all.
What's that question?
Okay, cool.
And I think you can start eat barbecue also. I mean,
All right, ready to serve the sack leaf? Okay.
this ready. This ready after a few minutes.
On Samal's mountain, where the view's so brand new, volcano up the horizon, I called my friends to share this night, with barbecue, flames and stories alive. Tarzan here, fires in view, but the star of the evening, with wisdom to say, is Martti Valila, who gave it all away. Millionaires and so fire, Alzheimer's and answer the call. 54 years since he walked these lands, the jungles and cities were taking his hands. jungles and cities with faith in his hands. The stewards are turning, the aromas confine.